Hi everyone, I'm Tony Jackson and this is your weekly reading for the 26th of March through to the 1st of April 2018. This week I'm actually going to choose a card from the Saints and Angels Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. Lovely card deck, one that I don't think I've used in the weekly readings, and if I have, I've only used it once. Lovely images on the cards, and one of the decks you can receive quite a bit of guidance from using. So we're going to choose a card from that, and also we're going to do a wonderful healing technique. So it's a big healing week this week. So what I do, if you haven't watched my videos before, then welcome to my YouTube channel, and if you have, a big welcome back. I hope you've enjoyed the previous videos that we've done. Some of them have been quite powerful and able to shift a lot of energy for you. And if you haven't, what I usually do is choose a card and also a healing technique that's given to me by my guides that I can share with you on the video. And a lot of times it coincides with things going coincide with things going on in my life, and it's a good shift also for me. So and then I love to share it with you, and I kind of put it all together as I film. So sometimes I stop and start a little bit. It's because I need to stop and hear the next step for the guidance, but I have got a good idea of what it's to be about. Now I have got an angel card workshop coming up too very soon in Wagga Wagga, New South Wales, Australia. It's on the 2nd and 3rd of April, and it's about learning to read the angel cards. I'll put the link to the events page for that. If you're in the area or you like to come along, then have a look at the events page, and I'd love to see you there. All the details are there. If you need to email me, the contact details are on the events page. But let's get into this week's healing, because it's a very, very good healing this week and quite a big one. So if you have been watching before, then you'll know 2 weeks ago we actually did a healing with the inner child. 2 weeks ago was the inner child, and using the indigo angel cards. And what we actually did, we actually removed karma from the inner child. The guides did mention to me for this week's healing, the indigo from 2 weeks ago, the inner child from 2 weeks ago, is actually a good lead into this week's healing. Last week was Archangel Michael, if you remember. But as I said 2 weeks ago, the inner child with the indigo cards is a very good healing to lead into this week's. But if you haven't done it, it's fine. You can still do this one by itself and it will still work very well. If you wanted to do a little bit of healing and a little bit more preparation, and if you haven't already, I would ask you to watch the indigo children, the inner child, clearing karma from the inner child, which was 2 weeks ago. So let's get started with this week's video, so this week's healing. So what they actually said, now they were a little bit blunt this week. They said you've got emotional baggage that you need to let go of. And I said, thanks guys, could you give it to me a bit more subtly? This is my guides I'm referring to. So I want to take you through the healing that they told me that I need for myself, and I'd like to share it for you, because it's really all for you, you know, for your healing. Anybody that's attracted to my videos that is watching, this healing will be for you through the law of attraction. If you're not sure if it's for you or not, I do get people to say, is this for my highest good? Is this for my highest good at a soul level? Now what would happen, you'd get a no, like you'd get a feeling of no if it wasn't. It may not be a no for now, it may be a no just for a few weeks until you're ready. But usually just say that and you'll probably just be more ready to do it, because usually people don't come across my videos unless they need the healing. So is it for my highest good? Is it for my highest good at a soul level? Helps you to determine if it's right for you or not. And not just my videos or anything to do. It can be in anything in your life. That's quite a good one to use in reference of if you should do something or not. Is it for my highest good? Is it for my highest good at a soul level? So let's move into the healing. Emotional baggage. They said if you're still carrying baggage from the past, then it's a good week to let some of it go. Now the emotional baggage will be caused by an event that's happened in your past. So something that's happened in your past will have caused you to have some emotional baggage now that you're still carrying. Probably you haven't dealt with it, or whatever reason, we've still got some emotional baggage from something that's happened to us in the past that we need to clear. And I do realize that could be quite big for some people and quite a lot of emotions. So some of the events that have happened, I mean, there might be more than one that's triggered some emotional baggage or caused some emotional baggage. So we will just ask that we release from the ones that we're ready to release. As some of them we might not be ready fully to release, and you might have to repeat this video or use another technique. So the first part of it was to actually ask the higher self to choose the event that's created the baggage. Now, the reason that we ask the higher self to do it is because I believe the higher self will know which event or which time that's caused the baggage is actually going to be more effective to clear now. Now, if you've got a particular event that you feel like you would like to work with and clear, then you can ask your higher self that you'd like to work with the event. But for me, for this healing, for this video, I'm going to leave it up to the higher self to choose, because I believe they've got a better perspective on how we can heal and what we can release now. So the first step is simply ask, higher self, please choose the event that we need to clear the baggage from. So the higher self will say, okay, well, back in your past, this has happened, and you're ready to release the baggage from that event now. It's really about now, what you're carrying now and what you're ready to release now. First step, let's say it now. Higher self, please choose the event that I'm ready to clear now. And we'll get the higher self a little bit of time to, really they don't need time, we really need the time. Higher self, please choose the event. And I feel like a click, yes, they've done that. And just wait a second, you might want to pause until you're ready. So the second step is quite a big step. Higher self, please clear the emotional baggage from that event. We want to do it in 2 steps. We want to choose the event first. Higher self, please choose the event, and just wait a little minute for that to happen. And then when we're ready, higher self, please clear the emotional baggage that I still have from that event, or I have now from that event. It's my free will and choice now to ask my higher self to clear all emotional baggage from that event. That feels right to me, saying that. I'll just say it one more time. It's now my free will and choice to allow my higher self to clear the baggage from that event. I know baggage sounds funny, but that's the terminology that they're using for today. Free will and choice to allow the higher self. I give permission now for my higher self to clear the emotional baggage from that event. They seem or tend to be just working with one particular event and the emotional baggage to that event. As I said, you may have more to clear. You might want to come back and do that at another time. Free will and choice now to release all emotional baggage from that event that the higher self chose. Now, there's more. Like, that's just the first step. There's 2 more steps. You would think that would be enough. What they actually said now was, what actually happens is when we have a traumatic event or something kind of bad or an accident or something happens to us in the past, it can cause our soul to fragment, or appears that our soul fragments. So a piece of our soul is still back in that time. So when the trauma happened or when the bad event happened, caused your soul to shatter and fragment and leaves a piece of you behind, or a piece of your soul. It's really your alignment with your soul goes out, and you no longer identify with that part of yourself because of the trauma. Now we want to get that soul fragment back. So that's the next step, where we have to ask the higher self to call back that soul fragment. So it's a piece of yourself that you've gone out of alignment with because of the trauma. So that's what we need to do next. Higher self, please realign me with any and all soul fragments from that event. Now I'm feeling there could be more soul fragments from other events and other situations. I still feel like they're working with one event, one lot of baggage, and maybe the soul fragments associated with that event. Higher self, please align me with all soul fragments from that event. And as I said, you might have more stuff, but I feel like we're just working with one event that's happened to you that's caused this. Higher self, please align me with the soul fragments from that event. I used to know people would say cleanse the soul fragments and return them to me because they can contain energies and memories from that time, and you don't want to realign with too much because we wanted to clear it. Cleanse the soul fragments and return and align them with me. Thank you, higher self. Let's say it one more time. I ask my higher self to realign me with all soul fragments from that past event, realign them into the present now, into my present reality. Got that one? Okay, there's more. We've picked the event, we've cleared the emotional baggage, we've realigned with our soul fragment, so you begin to feel more like yourself. Here's the big step. Here's the one that we need to get to. It's quite amazing, really. What they actually said was, before we cleared it, so before you started this video, you actually had your emotional baggage. And that emotional baggage or whatever happened to you will be causing your life to go down a certain direction because you're carrying that baggage. So you could miss certain opportunities because you're carrying baggage. You could, tending to go away from things that you meant to because you didn't have your soul fragment and your emotional baggage. So let's just say before you cleared it, life was going in that direction. But now you've cleared your emotional baggage, you've realigned with your soul fragments, life is going to take on a better direction for you. And they want to help us to align with that better direction. Otherwise, we have a tendency to go in the old direction, even though we've cleared our baggage. So let's open up to the new direction that our life needs to take. It will naturally flow in that direction because we've cleared the stuff. But they said sometimes there's a tendency to want to go back in the old direction as if we're acting as if we still had the emotional baggage. So let's not do that. Let's go in our new direction. Doesn't have to be this way, but I'm just using the hands to refer to what they're telling me. I ask it's now my free will and choice to allow the higher self to guide me in my chosen reality, in my new reality. It's my free will and choice to ask my higher self to guide me to my new reality, to take... Now let me get the words right. I ask my higher self to help me shift to my new reality. What I mean by that, we're no longer going this way. My new chosen pathway, my new reality, the direction that is for my highest good, given that I no longer have that baggage. And that's the most powerful step for today that we need to. So we're really leading up to this step. I ask my higher self, it's my free will and choice to go in the path of my chosen reality. Yes, to lead me in the path of my chosen reality. It's now my free will and choice to ask my higher self to guide my life where it needs to for the highest good. I clear all residual from the past, and I choose to take my life in the direction that is for my highest good at a soul level. It's my free will and choice to choose to take my life in the direction that is for my highest good. Something like that. You might be able to put the last bit together, but it's something like that. I might get a little bit more before we finish, but what I'm going to do now, so we haven't quite finished there, I might just repeat the last bit again, but it's so interesting, isn't it, the way they've done that. I'm going to choose a card from the Saints and Angels deck, lovely card deck, and as I do with all of my Oracle cards, I do put them to my heart. I visualize a column of light coming down through the top chakras, out through the heart chakra, and wrapping around the cards. Now that visualization of that light helps you to connect to your cards where they begin to become vibrational tools, and you begin to work with them and see images and messages and receive intuitive guidance by connecting to them that way. It's like a heart-to-heart connection with your cards, or a heart-to-cards connection through that light. So let's just give them a bit of a shuffle. After you've done that and visualize the light swirling them around them, I give them a bit of a shuffle, and I ask that the message that comes through is for the highest good, for everybody watching. So it's like the message will help us to support us in our healing that we did before, or if there's any additional information that we need for this week, then I ask that comes through as well in the cards. It's often to support the healing, but let's just be open to any guidance that we need from, extra guidance that we need from the cards. I ask that the guidance that comes through is for the highest good in love and life. I had a feeling to pick from the middle. Let's have a look. Oh, isn't that lovely? Peaceful. I mean, that peaceful energy feels like it's flying off in a new direction. So what I'm seeing is you can actually, as you shift without your baggage, you can actually get a stronger connection to your guides, and that was one of the, it will create peace in your life, obviously, but I'm also feeling from that image, it's almost like my spirit guide or guardian angel is there, and you actually have a closer connection to your guide when you have less emotional baggage and you're following your soul calling. So as that soul chipped off when something bad happened, it's cleansed and returned, our vibration shifts, we're more attuned to our own self and who we are, and as an added bonus, you also have the advantage of being able to hear your guides better because you're more in tune yourself. I guess with emotional baggage, it sort of forms a little bit of a separation with your guides, and now you've healed that, you may have more intuitive guidance come through or a stronger connection to your own spirit guides or guardian angels. I just want to add in there, as a result of our healing today, it's my free will and choice to hear the voice of the angels. That's just something that you might want to say to help you to receive guidance. It's my free will and choice to hear the voice of my angels. So that might just help some guidance come through. So what I feel now is I feel we're done. I feel that just caps off the healing nicely, peaceful, and I got from that a feeling of being peaceful from releasing our baggage, and also I just felt like that image represented our guides and being able to hear our guides better. Lovely card deck. So I think we're done. Let me just check. I feel that when we're going in the new direction, we're following our higher self and our soul calling. It's my free will and choice to accept the new direction of my life. It's my free will and choice now to accept and embody the new direction of my life. I ask my higher self to guide me in the new direction of my life. That feels final for me. That feels final. So that's going to cap off the whole healing. What a huge healing it is. What a huge healing it is. But anyway, I hope you put all that together and it works very well for you for this week. So that's all we really need to do for now. Let's thank our guides and angels. And just one more thing, I did say this already, but the card said to me, I got a feeling from looking at that card that it will open up the intuitive connection with your guides now a little bit more because you no longer have that emotional baggage. And just to help that along, I hear the voice of my angels. It's going to just, by saying that, it's actually triggering that you may actually hear them. So that will help hear them hear them so you can receive some guidance. So by saying that, it will help. I think we're done. That's enough for 1 week. What a huge healing we've had. So I hope you've really enjoyed that and it really benefits you. If you'd like a private reading or a private session with me, I'll leave the link to my webpage. You can book through there. You can also book through just by sending me an email. I will leave my email address, the link to the events page for the angel cards. What else? That'll do for now. I think we've done enough for this week. What a big day. Take it easy. Just have a rest. You'll be fine. Let the angels and guides take care of you now. I thank everybody for watching, and give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed that. Thank the guides and angels, particularly the higher self, and we'll look forward to next week's reading. Okay, lots of love and bye for now.